man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
The CFL and XFL about to announce entering formal talks to explore opportunities. Yes, this is big news.
How about that?
Hey, CFL, don't get on your knees for these guys. You still have the 100-plus year brand. Like I would say, hey, Rock, maybe you should change your name. We'll change ours to the Continental Football League, but you need to change yours to the Continental Football League, and it's still the CFL.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Good morning, Canada. Canadian sports fans around the world, welcome. I was just tweeting the links, so don't mind me. Welcome to a brand new week. How you doing, Moose DuPont?
I'm doing well.
Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend. You?
Felt to me, amazing, but it felt to me like you might have unplugged for the weekend.
I did.
I could tell.
It was great.
Ignoring my texts. I thought you were mad at me.
Never.
That's okay.
I laughed, and I couldn't believe it. I sent the laughing, crying emoji to one of your texts. I didn't send it.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, I didn't send it, but...
Don't you hate when that happens?
I was thinking about that over the weekend, and then, lo and behold, I mixed in a couple of runs, so it was good.
Good for you. And a salad?
And a salad.
Okay, good. I got back on the old IMAX Bowflex Max today, so that felt good, too.
Good.
Got my Gus Farrat bunny hug on, and we're ready to roll. Coming up on the program today, just tons of fun. Eddie Steele's going to join us. I can't wait to see what Eddie Steele, the Grey Cup champion, former Ticat, Rough Rider, and Eskimo, has to say about this CFL, XFL stuff. I can't wait to see what Eddie Steele has to say. Former Manitoba Bison now makes his home in the City of Champions. Also coming up, the voice of the Winnipeg Ice, Mitch Peacock, and he is the former voice of the Manitoba Moose and Prince Albert Raiders. And Cory Karlick's going to join us from Skycron, and I'm excited to make his acquaintance. You know more about him than me. You've met him. You've talked to him.
Oh, yeah.
What's he coming on to talk about? Because I don't even know.
Well, it's funny. We're going to talk about a few things. He's a local production company doing really big things all across North America, what we've talked about, and got a new program coming to Game Plus. So we're going to do a little tease on that.
Oh, sweet.
We'll see what other cool stuff he's got going on. I don't know if we can, tease some bigger things that we're going to do in collaboration with him. I don't know. I'll let him deal with that. But
when he comes on?
When he comes on.
Okay.
But it'll be fun.
I say good morning to everybody, and I have to say the guys from the XFL Mark podcast, the XFL's #1 podcast, they become like my besties. You understand that?
I do.
You see what's going on here? Pardon me, Clark? Mark Cast, well, their Twitter is at Mark, XFL Marks, Mark Cast, XFL Mark Podcast, whatever. It's the same thing. So, yeah, it is. Reed Johnson will be with us later on this week from that podcast, and I'm looking forward to that. And let's go with the Quick Six show topics, please, Director Jordan. I know you've been sitting there with your finger on the trigger. And welcome, everybody, with your comments this morning. I can't get to them right now because this is the warm-up where it's me talking, viewer takeovers later, but don't let that stop you from saying good morning to all your friends in the comments section, right?
Yeah.
We do have breaking news today, by the way, and it's from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's not good news. It's not surprising news either. Before I get to the show topics, here's the breaking news for you CFL fans, you people. The Winnipeg Football Club released its 2020 annual report on Monday, announcing an overall loss of $7 million. The unprecedented, here's a quote from President Wade Miller, the unprecedented and rapid spread of COVID-19 and the related restrictions that were implemented in Canada throughout 2020 had a devastating impact on live sporting events across the country, which ultimately led to the cancellation of the 2020 CFL season. This had a detrimental impact on the club, not only with the cancellation of the 2020 season, but the shutdown of all events at IG Field. There's more, but I'll direct you to rodpedersen.com. It's the top item right there for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and their wonderful PR guy, Darren Cameron. That's all you need to know. Cam Poitras from CJLB, Manitoba's information superstation, texted me this morning and said, what do you think about this? I said, I thought it would be more. I thought it would be more. It's not good at all, obviously, but I thought it would be more than $7 million. So anyways, to the show topics. Number one, The Rock's tweet. And by the way, these show topics are of importance to me because it is the Rod Pedersen Show. Here's what's on my mind. Number one, The Rock's tweet Saturday night. We had a lot of fun talking about this in the morning meeting. You were giggling like a schoolgirl. Because The Rock was responding to Jim Mullen, a close personal friend of ours, the guy that sent us this Football Canada helmet. The Rock's writing Jim Mullen. Tell him what you said about Jim Mullen sipping his coffee.
I know. Like, I can just imagine there on Bowen Island sipping his coffee, and all of a sudden he gets a tweet from The Rock, and it goes down the wrong pipe. And, exactly. One of those, right? And then it's like looking around. Anybody else see this?
We all saw it.
Is this a birder?
Yeah. So, anyways, he says, The Rock says, we'll figure out a smart season that'll create phenomenal opportunities for players and be the best experience for fans. I played ball for years and wrestled 280-plus nights a year for years, so I know the value in smart scheduling and recovery. That's from The Rock. What the hell is he talking about there? I have no clue, right? And I think it's awesome that him and Randy Ambrosie just have everybody spinning like tops at a time where neither of their leagues are playing. We would normally be in the thick of the XFL season right now if it wasn't for COVID. So I don't know how this is going to land up. How I would like to see it is the merger. I've said it. Both leagues come together and they play in the spring and summer. Championship season is in September when the NFL is just getting going. And that's the way I would like to go. I'd like to see the ratio held on to for the 9 Canadian teams, but the American teams don't have to play with a ratio. It's actually pretty easy to me. But if it was that easy, they would be doing it. Point two, unbelievable. The Toronto Business Journal writes 2 columns, and they tagged this show and me personally, their articles. One is how to save the CFL. It's a no-brainer, they say. And 2, that all the talk of the XFL-CFL merger is fake news being spun by Canadian media, which got Nailers from TSN. Naylor got upset about that. And he's like, what's he talking about? Fake news. This is a joke. It's a garbage article. I'm like, Dave, I didn't say I agreed with it, okay? I just retweeted it because they tagged us. I think the Toronto Business Journal thinks we're a Toronto show. Which a lot of people...
They're not alone.
No, which a lot of people think. But anyways, Darren didn't read those articles because he's busy doing business things. Isn't that ironic?
I know.
But anyways, I'll paraphrase for you. Whoever wrote the article, because the writer's name isn't attached, said, oh, they could just use Canadian university players as scabs while they figure this all out and they could play for free. That's the no-brainer. That's paraphrasing it. It was longer, probably about 800 words or so, but that's what. Let's just use scabs because these Canadian players will play for nothing until they figure it all out. It's not a no-brainer to me.
They're not wrong.
What? You think they should?
No, they're not wrong in that they'd easily be able to fill the rosters and there'd be tons of Canadian football players who would play, but it's not a good idea necessarily to save the league. You got to have talented players in the field. There are plenty of really great, talented Canadian football players. They're in the league, and there are some real talented ones that aren't.
Yep.
But we have university sports, and it's very entertaining, but that can't replace the Canadian Football League.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
By the way, that really got them going in the comment section here. From Ryan McCarthy watching in Albany, New York, says, wait, you're not a Toronto show? Chris Bird in Toronto says, there are shows not from Toronto? From Jordan Ewart watching on YouTube, what's Toronto? That really got him going, didn't it? So anyways, it's just fun stuff. It's fake news. That's what it is. But fake news can be fun. NHL leftovers from Sunday. I said to my wife, Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, aren't playing, and there are no Scotia North games, so I'm going to unplug. She couldn't believe it. So I didn't sit in front of the TV and watch tons of NHL hockey yesterday. But here are my prayers up for Aaron Ekblad. He was injured in Dallas, the Florida Panthers defenseman. Some are saying it looks really ugly. I didn't think it looked that ugly, but I'm not Aaron Ekblad. Yeah, I'm saying I've seen worse.
Yeah.
But I think it's not obviously good, so say a prayer for Aaron Ekblad. There's no doubt that he needs it to get back onto the ice. Would you take Patrick Laine? Please take Patrick Laine. He scored 1 goal in 16 games.
I know.
What's going on there?
I know. It's Columbus.
No, would you take him on the Leafs?
No.
No. Why wouldn't you?
I wouldn't. But I would. Other markets, potentially. Again, here's a guy who clearly isn't just going to be able to turn it on anywhere. So you have to find the right fit for a Patrick Laine. We know he's got skills. We know he can score goals. He's got a great shot. But we got guys who can shoot the puck in Toronto. So I'm not looking at him there. But there is a place somewhere. He can go back and be a 40-goal scorer. But you have to find the right fit for him. I don't know what that is.
Stop the presses! Davis Sanchez is watching right now. The TSN analyst, the former San Diego Charger and Alouettes mouthpiece. Right, Sanch? He says, I don't think there's currently anywhere that I can be sitting at my desk here at noon on a Monday having a coffee and have a show on live television with, where to go? With a large portion of content talking CFL. Tip of the cap, Rod and Clark, and to all the viewers supporting the league just proves there are passionate CFL fans out there. Let's get him on, Clark. I want to know what Davis Sanchez has to say about the XFL-CFL merger. Oh, and by the way, just to finish that up, Ovi's on a 9-game heater. 10 goals in 9 games, at least a goal in each one of those. Who saw that coming? How about that?
Yeah.
Lloydminster's Ty Smith leads all rookie defensemen in the National Hockey League with 19 assists. And the Flower can tie Eddie Belfour tonight with his 484th career win. So let's see if Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, can get a win tonight. Now I got to go back and talk CFL because Davis Sanchez is watching. See how that works?
Yeah.
I guess I'll throw out the poll question while we're here for a Capital Automall Universal Collision Center with dealerships all across the prairies, plus in Southern and Northern California. Who comes out on top of the CFL XFL deal? Your options are Randy Ambrosie or The Rock. I voted for The Rock. But interestingly, both are Calgary Stampeders alumni. What are they saying on Facebook, Dupes?
87%.
They say he's going to hoodwink Randy Ambrosie. The D lineman's going to get the better in this one-on-one of the O lineman. That's what they're saying. What are you saying?
Do I have?
Yes, you do.
The Rock. Although I feel like Randy's going to protect the Canadian game. The Rock will win, but Randy's going to do his job to protect the Canadian game.
I'd take that.
Okay.
I'd take that. I got a lot of things to get to here in the warm-up, and we're running out of time. Eddie Steele coming up, though, and that's just going to be a treat. I love me some Eddie Steele. Fourth point, NFL is going to 17 games. Were they not going to last year, but COVID screwed it up?
I think so.
That was the plan, right?
Yeah, it was heavily discussed anyways.
So if Twitter wasn't so darn much fun, I would delete it. And I'll tell you why. When it came out yesterday that the NFL is officially going to 17 games, and they've been 16 since 1978, I saw some guy tweet, "Oh, that's it for spring football. Oh, that's it. The NFL's expanding." You donkey. Nothing's going to change. They're going to take one less preseason game and turn it into a regular season game, and it's all about revenue.
That's it.
But as I've said, you don't need to pass an IQ test to do what?
Have a Twitter account, make a baby.
Or have a baby. So the NFL is going to 17 games. Ta-da. Dub Hub. Exciting play, don't you know what's going on in our backyard? Every game's a 5-minute road trip from my house. Thank you, God, for the Dub Hub being right here in the sweatpants capital. And the Warriors lost yesterday. I did my commentary on it on Cat Country today on what's going on in the Dub Hub. So listen to that. But I'm just saying, it was Winnipeg beating Moose Jaw yesterday. And do you people understand the significance of Winnipeg facing Moose Jaw? The Winnipeg Warriors moved to Moose Jaw in 1984. And the Cranbrook Kootenay Ice moved to Winnipeg 2 summers ago. And they used to be at Edmonton. As the older I get, I realize I'm the only one that cares about that stuff. And the older I get, I realize I don't care that I'm the only one that cares about that stuff. I love it. I love it. Do you care as much about the history of franchises and stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. I like following a little bit of that. And it's sometimes you forget about it, right? And you don't think about it that when they're playing each other. But it's cool to bring it up.
I think about it all the time. And I love it. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
And really, that's all that my goal is. Blue Jays open on Thursday. Just going to point that out. The Blue Jays open on Thursday at the Yankees. We'll be dropping some change on that with our official betting partner, Come On Official. And Eddie Steele's coming up. I wanted to get to, those are our 6 points. Our rock star of the day Friday was NFL Network analyst and NFL alum Brian Baldinger. How sweet was Baldy?
Yeah, it was great.
He was great. He was the rock star of the day. Viewer mail. I can't get to all of it, but here's one. It wrote in at rodpedersen.com. Rod, you have got a great show. I'm an American football fan who in the past 2 weeks has started watching your show. I have received quite an education about the CFL market and how Canadians feel about their football. First off, it looks like it has to happen for the CFL to survive. I understand the feelings of hardcore fans losing the traditions of 3 downs. I would feel the same way, but like you've been saying, if it's between going to 4-down football or no football in Canada, it feels like a no-brainer. I live in Los Angeles. I went 22 years without a football team. To me, my love for the Rams died when they moved to St. Louis. I became a Charger fan. Now, ironically, I cheer for both. But in my heart, I'm a diehard Rams fan. And he goes on to say here, I bring this up because if I had a choice of no football or bring back the Rams with 3 downs, it would be a no-brainer. Perhaps a lot of old-time Canadian football fans do not understand how dire things are for the CFL. It looks like a merger is happening. Thank you for your broadcast and your concerns for the league. You have a new fan in the lower 50. Sincerely, Mike Alley, Los Angeles. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
And here's one. Rename the merged league. This is a viewer mail. The Continental Football League. That way you can still call it the CFL, a Canadian conference, a United States conference. Adopt the U.S. size field with 11 players. The rest is Canadian rules. From viewer Lee Bishop, Greenfield, Indiana. I love your show. I'm a fan of both the Stamps and the Riders.
What?
How could you do that? That's like being a fan of the Flames and the Oilers. You can't.
You can't.
It's like being a fan of the Rangers and the Islanders.
But okay.
But okay, whatever. We'll take it. Yeah, exactly. Eddie Steele next to talk about all these things. This has been the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the NHL, UFC, and Regina Pats hockey on their big screens. Pats and Broncos tonight at 8 p.m. We'll be calling it. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Everybody's having fun with a viewer in Greenfield, Indiana, saying he's a fan. Lee Bishop is his name. He's a fan of both the Riders and the Stamps. It's like, how's that possible? Chris in Toronto says that's the same as being a Ticats and Argos fan. Oddly enough, I do know some. The boys in the back are telling me we're having a slight audio issue with Eddie Steele, which would be a crime. We're going to try it, but we got to hear this guy's voice. I know he looks great, but we don't want to know what he has to say. Can we bring in Eddie Steele, number 97? There he is. There he is, looking rough and tumble as usual. Oh, it is a little choppy there this morning. How you doing, Eddie? How you doing, Eddie? Oh, we can't hear him. You were right, Clark. You're absolutely right. So I don't know. Clark predicted this was going to happen. Oh, we're all on pins and needles wanting to know what Eddie Steele has to say about the CFL XFL merger. And this has happened before, so these guys are going to tell me immediately the second they have it fixed. So to the Prairie Mobile text line, I got a few messages to get to. From the 716, good day, gents. Great show as always. Why doesn't anyone that I recall ever dig deeper into the CFL's commissioner position? Why is it they're a league consistently rolling that position over? NHL, NFL, NBA, MLB rarely do. Yes, I realize they have all had changes, but not to the extent the CFL has by a large margin. Most in the commissioner position have been hugely successful in private industry and go back to success when not commissioner again. CFL doesn't listen to sound direction from established, successful, proven businessmen. Dupe slid out, but he slid back in when you saw we were having a problem with Eddie Steele. I can handle it, but you're good.
Oh, yeah.
You just wanted to put your feet up.
Just put my feet up.
And have a coffee.
Well, and I enjoy letting you guys just go. I don't need to, hijack your conversation.
From the 541, Randy Butler again. This guy wrote in on Friday regarding the it's too hot to play in the southern states in the summer football. He says the average temperature in midsummer in Las Vegas is 42 degrees Celsius. Try to golf. Never mind football. Our guy Nelson Vo posted the clip of that, and it didn't get a huge amount of scorn from people that I thought that it would, but I think we had it right. I think the Ballers would want to play in the heat as opposed to the cold. Maybe that would be a great poll question today. Would you rather play in extreme wind chill conditions or in heat warning conditions?
Plus 35 or minus 35.
Right. Guys and gals are playing sports in those conditions all the time.
I know. I always think of two things. I like the heat better than the freezing cold, but you can always put another layer on. You can only take so many layers off. So I do think about that maybe the cold is a little bit easier because you can always add layers. You can only take so many layers off. But, I don't know. I think the heat's fine. I don't think it gets to be unbearable for playing in. That's for sure. I just don't.
What's going on with Eddie?
And if it is, we go to evening games. So
we're working on it, Clark says. My favorite 4 words. We're working on it. Sorry to interrupt.
No. So speaking of the Calgary, Saskatchewan thing, I was out for a jog yesterday, and I'm running around South Regina, and I go by one of those Patterson park benches, and I'm like, I should call Phil, and we should get the show promoted on these park benches. And then I started thinking, well, no, someone's going to draw a mustache on Rod's, face, or they're going to do something.
Exactly.
And then I started thinking, we've been struggling how to market this show in Calgary. Maybe that's the play. is we actually do a graphic on there with a mustache, and it's Rod in disguise, right? And it's all branded about, hey,
Who is this guy?
It's Senior Rod, not the guy who hates Calgary, right? It's this
I
new
don't
character.
hate Calgary. Calgary hates me.
That's right.
You got it backwards.
That's right.
And we're not struggling to market in Calgary. You know that as well as me. But I was watching the news conference with Daryl Sutter after the Flames win over Winnipeg Saturday night. And they had, on the backdrop of the Flames, tell us, Optic TV. And I'm like leaping through the screen. Yes! They carry Game Plus. Get Tell Us Optic TV. The Flames are marketing us, and they don't even know it.
I know.
That's the play.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? By the way, we may break early here and then bring in Eddie next segment for a longer segment once he gets his audio figured out. But just updating the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall. Who comes out on top of this CFL XFL deal? Randy Ambrosie or The Rock? 76% of you on Twitter saying The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, will come out on top in this deal. I should have written how and why. I'd love to know how they feel that's going to work, right? You and I both voted for The Rock, right?
We did.
Well, one's built the world's largest entertainment global brand currently. So there's nothing against Randy, who's an incredibly sharp guy.
Yeah.
But look what The Rock's done. It's exactly what they want the CFL to do. By the way, I'm going to read a sports update right now. I'll get to more viewer comments here. C.J. McCollum scored 7 of his 23 points in the final 2 minutes, and the Trailblazers beat the Raptors 122-117 last night. Damian Lillard had 22 points and 11 assists for the Blazers, who took command in the third quarter and dealt Toronto its 11th loss in 12 games. Have you ever seen a season just go as fast as the Toronto Raptors? I know. Blame the damn virus. The Ottawa Blackjacks of the CEBL announced that Canadian forward Terrell Bellot Green has signed with the club for the upcoming 2021 season. A 6'7" forward from Toronto, Bellot Green has averaged 14.4 points, 4.1 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and 26 minutes in 88 games as a pro, having competed in Finland, Hungary, Luxembourg, Sweden, and Canada. Last year, he played for the Guelph Nighthawks in the CEBL Summer Series. What's your favorite CEBL name that's not Rattlers?
Stingers.
Mine's the River Lions.
Ooh, River Lions is good.
Niagara River Lions. Yeah. They get some really good names.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays now know who they'll face on the mound come opening day. The Yankees say Cory Kluber will follow ace Garrett Cole when Toronto kicks off the season in New York on Thursday. Kluber has not thrown an inning in a regular season game since tearing a muscle in his right shoulder last July. Have the Blue Jays named their starter? Is it Hyun-Jin Ryu?
I would only imagine.
It's got to be.
Has to be.
Roman Josi scored with 6:33 left in the third period, and surging Nashville beat Chicago for its 5th straight victory Sunday night. Victor Arvidsson also scored, and Pekka Rinne stopped 27 shots. How about this? Alex DeBrincat scored 2 goals, $1.50 apart in the third, to tie it for Chicago. He's now got more goals in the last 4 seasons than Patrick Kane. Probably wouldn't surprise anybody that keeps a close eye on the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
But I think that would surprise people that don't.
Yeah, it would.
In the Dub Hub, Peyton Krebs chalked up 3 points Sunday, and the Winnipeg Ice skated to a 4-1 win over the Moose Jaw Warriors. Trent Miner stopped 20 shots to register a shutout in his first game of the season as the Vancouver Giants blanked the Rockets 6-0. Ho, ho, ho. That's what they used to say in Vancouver after a Giants goal. I don't know if they still do or not. The Giant, Green Giant.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. 3 unanswered goals in the third period, including an empty netter from Simon Kanak, pushed the Winterhawks to a 7-4 win over the Seattle Thunderbirds. Orange Strom scored his first of the season, 4:11 into extra time, and the Medicine Hat Tigers topped the Hurricanes 5-4 for their 3rd straight win. Gage Concav scored a hat trick, and the Silvertips trounced the Americans 6-1 to remain perfect early in a truncated season. The Tips 5-0. Braden Peters stopped 41 shots for the Calgary Hitmen, who handed the Oil Kings their very first loss of the year, 2-1. And the Swift Current Broncos had a 2-0 lead midway through the second period, but the Wheat Kings roared back with 5 unanswered goals to secure their 3rd straight win, 5-2. The sports update for Ballers Rec Room. No longer your home for Regina Pats hockey because you can't go in and sit down. But you can order takeout from Ballers Rec Room, including Vern's Pizza. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Well, we had everybody hot and bothered for Eddie Steele. What's the latest, guys? Ooh. Can we do it now? Okay, the guys are saying that we can go to a break, and when we come back, we hope to have the great Eddie Steele with us, so hang around. You're watching the RP Show. Episode number 452 of Canada's daytime sports talk show continues right after this on Game Plus TV, live YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Whopping big segment here coming up, but I just want to tell you that while we await the appearance of Eddie Steele here, we're having a party in the comments section. And yes, we are on in 2.3 million homes on Game Plus TV, but we're also live on YouTube and Facebook. So we got a lot of comments coming in regarding today's news. That's what's great about daytime sports talk. And I just want to say, Chris Hubbard, you know Chuba?
Oh, yeah.
From our sponsor, Great Western. He says, Rod, you are too modest about your singing voice. Your rendition of the Red Bull jingle is angelic. I was thinking about another song that was on my head today when I said, listen, people don't get down and dirty with the WHL franchise history like I do, but I'm going to keep on loving you. Who sings it? Because it's the only thing I know how to do. However that goes. You know what I mean?
You know it? Who sings it?
Streetheart? No. REO Speedwagon. REO Speedwagon. I'm going to keep on loving you, WHL.
Funny, I've slipped.
Because I love you.
I came back on a road trip from La Ronge to Saskatoon or North Battleford with Martin Smith. We had the satellite radio going. We turned the dash off, and we played Name That Tune from the old station. So all those songs, right?
The things you do on our road trip.
Oh, yeah.
And in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers losing $7 million announced this morning in 2020. Chris Pollock writes in, he says, then think about what some private owners are saying about the upcoming season. I can lose $3 million by not playing or $10 million if we do play. Again, they need fans or can't pay the bills. So let's go back to the video chat, and I'm praying that we got our man Eddie Steele here. Oh, Clark just said hold tight. He's not ready. We've never had a problem like this since. So when I said we're having a party in here,
yep.
15-year-old Connor Anderson's watching. He says, fun fact of the day, it's been 19,690 days since the Leafs last won a cup. I'll just leave this here.
Sorry, what?
You got headphones in.
I wasn't listening. I know.
That
I'm covering
doesn't work.
it up, and I got headphones in.
Dylan McDonald watching on YouTube. REO Speedwagon's a great band. They were a great rocking band in the 70s, 80s. You know, regarding the CFL playing in the summertime in the southern United States, can we rejig the Continental Football League schedule to play all the games in Canada in the summer and all the games in America in the spring? Could we do that? Norm Fong's watching the Hall of Fame equipment manager of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Fongo says, Rod, when we played in Vegas, it was so hot that they pushed the night game back 1 hour, and at kickoff, it was still 105 degrees at field level. I remember I was at the Craven Country Jamboree. For many of you, that won't be too hard to believe. And my very best friend, Chris Winkler, and I, we call him Mavis, we were listening to that game. We had the hatch up of my vehicle in the campground listening to the Riders at the Vegas Posse. Because they still talk about the national anthem being sung, right? Casey Parks singing that.
That's right, all the time.
Oh, Canada, oh, Canada.
Yeah.
I remember us looking at each other, drinking our Bacardi Breezers because it was 4 p.m. and we were just starting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like, what the hell is he singing?
It's not Christmas time.
Let's try it now. Let's go to Eddie Steele in Edmonton. Eddie, apologies for the connections issues. Hey, you're looking good. You got us?
I got you. You got me?
Oh, that was a big little...
That was a relief here, Eddie. Man, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about the CFL XFL merger. As a veteran Canadian like you are, what's your take?
You know, ultimately, we all know what the business of the CFL is looking like. Not in the most financially stable position as we. So the merger, look, it can't be a bad thing to explore opportunities because the reality is there's a lot of money that The Rock can bring and American partnerships and sponsorships. My biggest thing is, that, of course, rules and things, that's all up in the air. And you have the diehard people who want the 3 downs, and some people don't want to go away from that. I just want the ratio. I don't want that to be affected because I'm a Canadian boy, and I like to think my skill set was enough to get me to the next level and then thrive for 9 years. But if you take out the ratio, Canadian kids might not get an opportunity, and that's where I have my biggest quarrel with everything. And we're all just speculating right now. I mean, everybody just has their own idea of what could happen. But that's the biggest thing is I don't want to see them take away or lower the ratio because the reality is it's such a big pool down in the States. There's so many guys you could choose from to fill up those roster spots. And if you're going to start taking jobs away from Canadian kids, that's where I have an issue with it.
Would you settle for this? Because I've been writing about it the past few weeks. Canadian teams have the ratio. American teams don't. We had that in the 90s. The games were still competitive. Would that be equitable, palatable to you?
Yeah, I think so, because the reality is, I mean, you're at that point, you're not losing jobs then, right? Because you're going to keep the Canadian teams with the ratio. So, yeah, it's not going to affect things as they would be already currently with the number of Canadians you would have on a roster. So I certainly think it's doable. And I like that aspect, too, because there's this certain stigma down south that Canadians can't ball. And it would be awesome to whoop some teams' butts with teams full of Canadian kids.
Well, and actually, I have thoughts on that, too. The top, you know this, the top-end talent is just as good. There's just way more Americans. You run out of top-end Canadians faster. Pretty simple, right? But you must have a story of some American guard or center just in one-on-ones that you blew up, like first day of camp type thing, that thought this was going to be easy. What do you remember about that?
Oh, absolutely, man. First thing that comes to mind is when I was in Hamilton, my first training camp, I show up, a kid out of the University of Manitoba, and here these guys are, these O-linemen that are, all Americans from USC and from Tennessee, big name schools. And I go against them and pretty much I whoop their butt. And I think, wow, like that's what it is. Because there's this aura, right? You go to a big name program and you're an All-American. This guy's supposed to be the man. But the reality is they're just human, just like me. He's just flesh. I'm flesh. And it's mano y mano. And Only the strong survive. Needless to say, he didn't even last in the CFL for a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, there was one guy that showed up, I'll never forget, got out of a cab from the airport at Taylor Field back in the day. Today, I don't feel like naming him, but he just said, what's the sack record in the CFL? And we're like, are you kidding? That's like a guy walking up to the tee and going, what's the course record? And then shooting a 120. You know what I mean? It's just like they actually think this is going to happen. You get it. But what about the money, Eddie, and the pay cuts for the players? Listen, you're a father. You were a father playing. You couldn't play in this scenario right now. That, to me, that's the most heartbreaking thing that we're looking at for 2021. Or at least I don't think you could have.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. You know what I mean? So now you're got to take a pay cut, or they're looking to get you to take a pay cut on top of having a year where you didn't even get paid. Or if you did get paid, it's the choice few who had a nice offseason bonus, and the teams paid that out. So that's kind of a double whammy. You know what I mean? I feel for the guys. And that's a rabbit hole we could go down, is the whole pay structure. I know front office and coaches, they've had to take cuts as well. But I threw out a tweet last week. Look at Scott Milanovic here in Edmonton. He just got paid his entire salary, and he didn't even coach a game, and he's making a handsome salary. I don't know exact numbers, but I'd say it's north of $300K. So that's a lot of money just out the door for someone who didn't even coach a game, let alone a practice. So to go and ask the guys to take a pay cut, yeah, the money's got to come from somewhere. But I don't think it should be the responsibility of the players only to have to bear that burden of taking a cut. I think it can come from the overall pie and not just the slice that the players get.
Well, Terry Jones of the Edmonton Sun reported it was $500,000 that Milanovic got. And I like Scott. He's just getting paid what was on his contract. But I don't think he even set foot in Canada, Eddie. He did it all from Florida. So... And then Dwayne Mandrusiak gets let go after 49 years with the team to help pay for that. And I think that's the thing that if Jonesy hadn't reported this, probably nobody would have even thought about it or known, right? And that's what's the players. Yeah, what's your perspective of that, given a guy that obviously you're tight with Dwayne, because anybody that knows him is, about how that scenario played out?
Oh, it's garbage. I mean, Dwayne, the longest member of the organization, 49 years. I don't know how you do that. And that just goes to show you the business side. It's greasy. And a lot of people, they don't see the behind the scenes. You see so many people chattering on Twitter and chiming in with their opinions. And some people think they're pretty knowledgeable about how things work and operate. But until you're actually in the line of fire and you're in those trenches, people have no idea. In the business of the CFL, it's greasy. Football in general is greasy. But, guys get cut all the time. Guys have to take pay cuts. Guys get cut the day before they're due bonuses. And that's just some slimy business, and to cut a guy like Dwayne, to pay a guy like Scott, who, hey, this is not a knock on Scott. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Good on him and his agent for getting the contract. But like you say, I think he maybe stepped foot in Canada once for his press conference, and that was it. And to have Wheezy, Dwayne Mandrusiak, be a casualty for that, it's bogus. It's completely garbage. And, it's just the sliminess of the business. It's such a penny pinching league. And it's unfortunate that it's got to be like that, man. Guys get cut over a $10,000 bonus. And in reality, $10,000, it's to a lot of people, it's a lot of money. But when we're talking in football contracts, it's pennies.
Yeah. By the way, you talk about people popping off on Twitter. I don't know if you saw Ricky Foley's tweet over the weekend. He's like, you guys think you're tough on Twitter? I will wreck you. Watch yourself. And the thing, Ricky will. I loved it. He will hunt you down and wreck you. Oh, you got to love Ricky Foley. By the way, if you can take a question.
Warriors, man.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. From Jack Fulton, watching in Vulcan, Alberta. Eddie, have the CFL players been given the opportunity to voice their opinion on a potential CFL XFL merger? Some have, right? Fajardo said he's against it. Have you seen other players? Have you talked to players, current players, how they feel about this?
I mean, the general consensus from some of the buddies I've talked to who are still involved in the game, it's not something that people are overly, they're not jumping on the bandwagon. They're not thinking this is going to save the league or this is going to bring a ton of money into your pockets. I think the main feeling that, and you're probably seeing this too, is forget talking about the XFL. We're going to talk about a training camp date, because it's April now pretty much, and there's been zip in terms of this season, upcoming season. So I think guys are more worried about what's happening now as opposed to the merger. Because if there's a merger, I don't think it's going to be happening for this upcoming season, because we're talking things, a lot of things need to play out within a couple of months here. So let's actually talk about the business of this season and let the powers that be discuss the merger, because there's got to be football played. If there's not football played for 2 full seasons here in Canada, that's a bigger issue than the merger itself. So,
who would have thought when this thing broke over a year ago, let's say 375 days ago, that we would be on the precipice potentially of it canceling 2 seasons of CFL football? Who would have believed that? We wouldn't have believed that at the time, Eddie, and what it's wreaked on society. But anyways, we got to roll. We're out of time. Sorry that we had the connection issues, but you know what? It was impactful. Always good, man. Stay safe up there. Keep in touch.
Good to see you, man. Take care. Thanks for having me.
Our good friend Eddie Steele joining us from the City of Champions. I'm going through here trying to find the message from Trent in Norway. He had some thoughts on that. We'll get to that. By the way, it is Cody Fajardo's birthday today, my favorite quarterback in pro football. No 2 ways about it, so happy birthday, Cody. When we come back, we'll dive into viewer takeover here and a whole lot more. On the way, the voice of the Winnipeg Ice, Mitch Peacock, and Cory Carlick from Skycron television production company. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and listen live. Sports Talk, 24 hours for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-In Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Monday, get together. We haven't talked a ton of National Hockey League, and that's fine, because there's enough talking about that. But while I have a minute here, I probably should throw out Sports on Tap tonight for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store. I guess with everything being shut down in this province again, that drive-thru is going to be humming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Corner of Rochdale and Pasqua here in the Sweatpants capital. In the Western Hockey League, triple header tonight. Saskatoon Blades take on the Prince Albert Raiders here in the Dub Hub at 4 p.m. Mountain, and then at 8 p.m. it's the Swift Current Broncos against the Regina Pats, and we'll be calling it on Access Now television. Out west, Prince George faces Victoria. In the National Hockey League, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, Darren. Your Leafs are home to the Oilers. Big comeback win for them the other night. Hey?
That was big.
Did you watch it?
I did.
When you unplugged, you didn't unplug your TV set.
I did not unplug my TV set. Exactly.
Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, are home to the Los Angeles Kings tonight. And the Winnipeg Jets are at Calgary as far as Canadian teams go. Blue Jays take to the field in 14 minutes' time, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies in their final spring training tune-up. And the Raptors are at Detroit tonight in the NBA. That is your Sports on Tap for the Tap Brew House and Liquor Store. But everybody wants to talk about the CFL, XFL thing today, and that's cool because some things were regurgitated. I'll say it again. Saturday night, The Rock tweeting at our good friend Jim Mullen. He says, we'll figure out a smart season that'll create phenomenal opportunities for players and be the best experience for fans. I played ball for years and wrestled 280-plus nights a year for years, so I know the value in smart scheduling and recovery. That's what The Rock tweeted on Saturday night. It's got everybody's head spinning on that. And it's caused a lot of American viewers that are watching us to write in, and they're all for it. I mean, I called for you out of your office for a reason, so I'll bring you on and let you talk, not hog the airtime here. How about the people that say they would prefer the CFL just folded with dignity as a truly Canadian entity than try to survive by latching on with this twice-failed league? How do you feel about the people that say that?
My question is, and then what? Fold and start new with what we've always had? Is that kind of what they're thinking? Or is it...
I don't think they've thought that far ahead.
Fold and just fold. I mean, sure, you can fold, but then the XFL doesn't need you, and then they come in with their own rules, and these stadiums need to be filled, right? They need to be filled. Players need a place to play. Football people need a place for football jobs. And so the XFL then says, oh, we can do it our way and roll in. So I don't think that's great. I do understand why people are upset, though, and I understand... And we know who they are, the real to their core Canadian Football League people. I get it because they're romantic about what they do and the way that they've done it and their audience and their way. And you don't want anybody else coming into your territory. But we can still save the Canadian game and expand and grow financially. I think that's what we want.
For sure.
That's what we want.
Where's Mandy's comment? She's watching in Edmonton. She says, I'm sure Ambrosie's intention on saying the CFL is in talks with the XFL is to distract from the lack of a 2021 season start. Bait and switch. I've heard that a lot. Maybe it is true. And if that is the case, that's pretty sad. Who's the guy here? Chris in the Kingston, Ontario region says, no NCAA Elite 8 talk? It's a Canadian show, bro. Go to ESPN.com for that. Mitch Peacock coming up next hour, and more of this discussion. Stick around after the break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
The CFL and XFL about to announce entering formal talks to explore opportunities. Yes, this is big news.
How about that?
Hey, CFL, don't get on your knees for these guys. You still have the 100-plus year brand. Like I would say, hey, Rock, maybe you should change your name. We'll change ours to the Continental Football League, but you need to change yours to the Continental Football League, and it's still the CFL.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome to the second half kickoff, everybody. If you've just flipped your set on or if you've just logged in, we're rolling into hour two of Canada's daytime sports talk show. It's episode number 452. We got Moose DuPont with us here. Lots is humming, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Busy day for us. We got this show here. We got a hockey broadcast tonight, 8 p.m. in the Dub Hub.
That's right.
Swift Current Broncos against the Regina Pats. And coming up in moments, we'll be joined by the very popular voice of the Winnipeg Ice, Mitch Peacock. They're coming off a big win over the Moose Jaw Warriors yesterday. And he called the Manitoba Moose games for years, too. And the Prince Albert Raiders. But There's breaking news today with regards to the Canadian Football League. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers came out and announced a $7 million loss in 2020. My initial take, I'm shocked it wasn't more. If you want to read the quotes from Bomber President Wade Miller, be my guest. Go to rodpedersen.com. It's the top story on the page right now, I believe. What we've been delving into is the CFL XFL merger, and it got a little bit of accelerant on Saturday night when The Rock tweeted, "We'll find a smart season that works." I just feel like he's not trolling per se, but he knows what he's doing, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's just driving everybody crazy with anticipation. And so Donald Mitchell, our Navy friend, who's in Bahrain, wasn't the Formula One first race in Bahrain on the weekend? Were you there, Don?
It was.
He says, CFL, XFL merger, I'm for it if we can keep a lot of our rules to make it unique to our southern cousins. I think we sell them short when we think they won't watch a different brand. Give them an honest chance to watch it. We may be surprised. He says, I like your Sunday comment, Rod, regarding the Canadian sports networks abandoning Canadian leagues. Your show has proven there is an appetite for sports other than the Big Four. And regarding the merger, Mike in Toronto says, I don't want my CFL history to be roadkill. I would rather merge. I feel like they could come up with something in that because the XFL, can we even name their championship trophy? Do they have one? I think it's just the XFL championship. It's like, hey, Rock, can we keep the Grey Cup? Oh, yeah. Of course. Wouldn't think of anything else. You know what I mean? I think it would be a lot more palatable to people if the Grey Cup was still to be played for.
Of course. Like, he's been very respectful and he's had a lot of great things to say about the traditions and history of the league and the game. I think that's, hey, I've got a league, I've got an entity now in the XFL. It's never worked, but let's go find something that has worked. The Canadian Football League. That game's great. There's a lot of history. And we could jumpstart this whole business model using their great game. So I think that's what I would be doing.
Viewer on YouTube, how do you say that? Reporter Fi Media and Travel says, I'd really like to know how much money CFL teams have tied up with season ticket holders' money. Take this away from the balance sheet and you have bankruptcy. Well, that's the thing that nobody's talking about, and we don't know what their bank accounts are, so we'll never know. And lastly, from Todd Pinkney, one of our P1s, he says, I'd put $25 on Buffalo tonight to break the streak against the Flyers. Why don't you throw that bet down and come on?
You should.
That'd be a very tantalizing bet right there.
I think so.
Two very struggling teams tonight. And apparently Carlick is scratched tonight. Is that a fact? I hear he's a healthy scratch tonight.
Take Buffalo and come on.
Carlick.
Put your money on the Sabres.
Supposedly not playing. Can you confirm this, Pinks? He says it's true. All right. Let's go to the Dub Hub now. And we're pleased to be joined by the voice of the Winnipeg Ice, Mitch Peacock, whom I just saw the other day, but we never had a chance to chat. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing well. How about you, Rod?
Good. Good to chat with you again. And this is to grace all of our Winnipeg viewers because we've got a ton over there on Bell MTS Cable. They know Carry Game Plus, as you know. Let me ask you this, bud. We're over 2+ weeks into the Dub Hub here with your Winnipeg Ice and the 7 Western Hockey League East teams. How have you found the experience?
Fantastic. I mean, first of all, I love the building. The Brandt Center is one of my favorite rinks anywhere. It's built for this league. It's built for, anything outside the NHL, really. So it's a perfect stage for the event. I think the quality of play has been better than I expected with the players coming off of such a long layoff. I thought that it would be ragged for a while. It was ragged for a very short time. It's been incredibly competitive. It's been fascinating watching the young players coming into the league, the veteran players doing their thing. And we've seen how people have enjoyed the North Division in the NHL, and we're getting a taste of that ourselves with these teams going after each other 4 times each. It's been fun watching, and I'm looking forward to it continuing.
All 4 Western Hockey League divisions are going. The Q, for the most part, is going, and unfortunately the O is not. So it's, for as far as the WHL goes, it's been great. But I got to ask you this. Peyton Krebs, 3 assists last night for the Ice in their win over the Moose Jaw Warriors. He came back from the Henderson Silver Knights. Have you had a chance to talk with him? This is what I don't like. We don't get that face-to-face with the coaches and players. So have you had communication with Krebs or any ice players about how they feel this has been going?
Yeah, well, I mean, like so many of us, my conversations with them have been by Zoom. And I had a chance to talk to a number of the players, including Peyton. Peyton, I joke, is the world's foremost expert on quarantines because he spent time with the Vegas Golden Knights last summer when things picked up and everybody gathered in Edmonton. He spent time with Hockey Canada for the World Junior Championship, went down, played in Henderson, and then came back here and had to go through the protocols here. He says it's over 50 days that he spent in official quarantines in the last number of months. And, he's a guy that is very focused, very determined, wants to be the best everywhere he goes, doesn't take a day off, leads by example, all those things. And, he's here with a purpose. He wants to enjoy himself because he knows it's his final junior experience. And he's here with a purpose because he wants to pass along the right message to his young teammates, leave a good legacy. So I don't think there's any issue with Peyton Krebs. He takes the assignment, he goes to work, and he makes things happen. He's certainly doing that here, now pushing Dylan Guenther for the league scoring lead.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Vegas doesn't miss on their draft picks, of course. They got a good one. I look forward to watching him star with Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. By the way, Kenny and Rennie are watching on YouTube. You know those guys, of course, Kenny Weeb and Sean Reynolds. They say, Mitch, always a great listen. Great guest. Well, we know that. We only have the best guests here. Mitch, before we talk a little bit about Winnipeg hockey and stuff, is there anything you can divulge on the WHL playoffs? Because as I wrote in my Sunday column, it's on the table from what we understand, but that's about all that we understand. That they haven't said no, but if there are playoffs, they don't know how it's going to look. Is there anything you know about it?
Yeah, I don't know any more than anyone else. To me, I see all sides, right? Players want to win a championship. Players want to compete. They feel that, they can get tested in those environments in different ways than they would in a regular season. So I understand why players will want playoffs. On the other side of it, if you're owning a team and you've already put all this money out to play this 24-game season when really you could have said there's no season at all, why do you want to spend more money and take more time for something that isn't necessarily going to lead to anything substantial? Because I don't see how they can cross over and get all four divisions competing against each other and declare an Edge Cup champion. That to me seems impractical, overwhelming, and just not realistic. So I'm not sure what the motivation would be to have playoffs. I do like the idea that the sponsors have stepped forward and said there's a trophy available to the teams that finish first in standings in the divisions. I think that's something that players do value. I think the players, as I said, want to win. So if you finish first in the Subway East Division Hub, you get the Subway Cup. And I think that's a lot better than nothing and maybe a compromise of sorts, given the commitment that the owners have already had to make.
Especially if it was filled with Subway submarines. Roast beef is my favorite. What's your favorite sub from Subway?
Ooh.
You want to think about it? You want to come back?
Something with chicken, I'd have to say. Anyway, that'd be the start.
Okay. Mine is roast beef loaded with jalapenos and secret sauce and mustard and mayo. Just you think about yours, dude.
Okay.
Actually, ready. Comments. Everybody write in with your favorite Subway subs. That would be a good way to go. David Ice is watching. David Ice writes in and says, "Way to go, Ice! 4-1 victory over the Moose Jaw Warriors." So the Winnipeg people have picked up and paid attention to this, Mitch, and I want to mention that to you because James Patrick, although we've never, I don't think, had a face-to-face chat, he's just a good Winnipeg hockey guy. Loves coaching the ice, loves being at home, and he said the product is amazing. We need to get the word out there in Winnipeg about this ice team. How have you found the transition to be now in their third season?
Well, that's the hard part about it, right? Actually, last year was the first season, and you're introducing yourself to a community. You're trying to find your place in the bigger picture. You're letting people know where you play, where they can find you, about the schedule, about the quality of play. They hadn't had a team there since the early 80s, so there's a lot of educating going on. There's a lot of relationships being built. And then the pandemic hits, and like so many other industries and businesses, you end up almost at a standstill, and you're just trying to maintain the relationships that you initiated. So this season, very important for the ice in terms of playing games and being able to be available to fans in the Winnipeg market through a 1290 CFRW, through iHeartRadio, through WHL Live on CHL TV, just making sure that the team remains present in the marketplace and shows up and competes and continues to build the brand. I think it's vital that the team played. And I think it's really important that we've had the media partnerships that we've had so that people can continue to get to know the team and get to appreciate it and look forward to seeing it in person again when we're able to do that down the road.
From our viewers, Chris in Toronto says the Italian BMT with hot peppers. Get your sodium on. From Adam Schultz, he says the Italian BMT on herb and cheese bun. From David Ice in Winnipeg, the meatball sub, which I've never had, but it looks delicious.
Oh, you know what? That might pull me away from the chicken. I got to be honest. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I'm always a roast beef guy. Son of a cattle rancher. I'm never going away from the beef. From Ivan Diablo, watching in Southern Ontario, favorite Mr. Sub, roast beef, double cheese, mustard, hot peppers, heart attack in your hand. From Mark Zosel in Melfort, he says steak and cheese on herb and cheese. So yeah, I can't move off the beef, but that's just me. I'm sorry, Mitch, we started something. From Chris in the Kingston, Ontario area, chicken and bacon ranch or meatball on Italian herb and cheese. So Subway's really getting their sponsorship dollars paid for here. Anyways, what about the new arena, Mitch? Is it? I get the sense that it's like sort of taboo. The Ice moved from Cranbrook, I think on the condition they were going to build a new rink in Winnipeg, and here we are. They haven't broke ground yet. Like, what's the deal there?
Well, that's really totally outside of my realm. I watch the team practice. I go to the games. I call the action. That's my world. Those things happen at the boardroom level and really are not things that I'm familiar with. What I will say is this, though. Can you imagine beginning a project of that value and then a pandemic hitting? And the reason I bring that up is because who knows what the modern standards will be for a facility now that we've experienced something like a pandemic. What kind of space do you need on a concourse? What sort of distribution of seating do you need? What are the ventilation requirements? What do you need for exits and entries? How do you plan to get people in and out of facilities? So for me, in a way, not really knowing what the background is as to the situation with the arena, all I can think of is, in a way, thank goodness they're not in the middle of it, because it may be a whole new world of what the requirements are to do this the right way going forward. And so that's, for me, that's one positive to the fact that there isn't ground broken at this stage, is just what are you going to need going forward?
For sure, and as I say, everything happens for a reason, although it's very difficult to understand at the time most often. Director Jordan says, I do enjoy a ham and cheese with pizza sauce and pineapple. I refer to it as the Hawaiian pizza sub. You can do that? I guess you can do whatever you want. David.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. That's official.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah, you're paying. You can do whatever you want. David in Winnipeg says, I posted game highlights of the Ice and Warriors from my YouTube. On Twitter, I get over 100,000 views a month. So, listen, you don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to sell me on the popularity of junior hockey, particularly major junior. It gets the views, right, Mitch? You probably realized that going back to the Ice because you'd been with the Raiders before that.
Yeah, well, that was another world, right, Rod? I mean, you and I were calling games back in the 90s. In those days, we didn't. I had to go to the radio station to find a computer that had the internet. So that was a different time. So it is fascinating now. The exposure is incredible. Obviously, you've made the most of it with this situation working out as well as it has. And congratulations to you and your team on that. It's a great product. But it's fun to see how the word is spread and how people can get in on a product and appreciate it. And that's what it's all about, right? We want to help people to enjoy their leisure time. It's entertainment. And for the players, it's a development opportunity. And we're just grateful to be, I don't know about you, I'm sure it's true, just grateful to have a chance to be a part of it. It's a fantastic way to make a living.
I say it as often as I can, how grateful I am to be involved, particularly with the privilege of being in the hub, which reminds me, I could go on all day about this, but we got to run. Man, Mitch, we'll have to bring you back, man. Mitch Peacock, who really should be working at NBC, maybe one day. the Peacock Network. But Craig Campbell at the Hockey Hall of Fame says Matthew Savoy is averaging a point per game with Dubuque in the USHL. How good of a player is he? How much will he impact the team, assuming he can return to the ice this season? So there's that. Trent, watching in Norway, says, when I'm home, it's club sub on wheat. Tasty. From Mike Blackbird in Toronto. Super roast beef sub, lettuce, tomato, mayo, hot peppers. And there you go. And Mark Zosel wants to know if you're rooming at the U of R or where you're staying at. So it's a rapid fire. We got about a minute. Where are you staying, Mitch?
I'm still on the guy from Norway with a sandwich. Somebody wrote in from Norway?
Yeah, he watches every day. Trent from Norway. Long story. Where it is currently 7:16 p.m. We've got a clock on the wall for Norway. But where are you staying, Mitch?
Airbnb, not too far from the rink.
All right, excellent. And Matthew Savoy, how good is he?
Fantastic player, great kid, all the tools, the right attitude. He's a guy you want to see.
Excellent. Okay, Mitch, as always, good seeing you. We'll chat further when I see you in the hub, and stay safe, and thanks for this.
Thanks for having me, and the more I've had a chance to think about it, I'm going with the meatball.
The meatball sub, okay. Takes one to know one. You are what you eat. Thanks, Mitch.
All right,
Mitch Peacock, the voice of the Winnipeg Ice. What's your sub?
Meatball.
The meatball?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I thought
Nothing on it, though. Maybe a little spinach and Parmesan cheese, and away you go.
From our technical producer, Rocco, I prefer Subway to Mr. Sub because they make me feel like I'm having a healthy choice when I eat an entire loaf of bread. It's all marketing. We'll be right back. We got a curling report coming up. Curling report, sports update. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Hey. My boy, Chop, watching Gary Bresch from the Rams football alumni, says, hey, I just drove by. Big Bird is not covered up. Why you got to be like that? Happy Monday, Rod Squad. That's from, I got my Jeep out of the barn yesterday. Drove it to 30 miles into the city, and now we're going to get a blizzard today. And everybody's saying, you got to tarp that thing up. Even my brother was shocked, by the way. He's like, he started it in the Quonset. That's those big steel barn-looking things
where
on
you
farm.
had the party.
Yeah, where we had the party.
Yeah.
And my brother's like, it started right up. He couldn't believe it. I said, that thing's tough as nails, man. 1975 Jeep CJ military grade.
They don't make them like they used to.
I can handle a little snow today, guys. I have a tarp, but why? It's tough. Just ahead of Cory Karlick from Skycron, and you're not going to want to miss this. Our curling report today for Verge Agriculture. Two-time world champion and Olympic gold medalist Mark Kennedy will join Brendan Bottcher's team as an alternate for the upcoming Men's World Curling Championship in Calgary. The move is insurance against the back injury that knocked Bottcher's third, Darren Moulding, out of the recent Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship. Bottcher, Moulding, second Brad Thiessen, and lead Carrick Martin won the Brier March 14th in Calgary. Moulding and Joanne Courtney withdrew yesterday from the subsequent Mixed Doubles Championship when Moulding suffered back spasms. Bottcher's regular alternate Patrick Jansen remains with the foursome in a support role. Canada opens the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Championship on April 2nd against Scotland's Bruce Mouat. Canada must finish in the top 6 to guarantee the country a berth in men's curling at the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. Moulding continues to receive treatment on his back. Kennedy played third for Northern Ontario's Brad Jacobs in the Brier earlier this month and participated in the mixed doubles with Val Sweeting. The 39-year-old from St. Albert, Alberta, won Olympic gold in 2010, playing second for Kevin Martin. Kennedy won world titles with Martin in 2008 and Kevin Cooey in 2016. Curling Report is brought to you daily by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's precision farm tech software for free today at vergeag.com. And this morning, their weekly podcast dropped. And I'm the host with Lindsay Barch. I'm the guest with host Lindsay Barch on the Verge Agriculture podcast. We're talking agriculture and mental health. So check it out from their channels. You can find them on Twitter at Verge Agro. Okay, Cory Karlick is with Skycron, and they've got a brand new show that's airing tonight on Game Plus. Cory, how you doing, bro?
That's stuff. Good. Pretty good. I'm a little bummed, though. My Syracuse lost to Houston last night, and the women's team lost to UConn. So I'm a little disappointed. Well, not last night, but...
You know what? We had people asking. They had people asking for some March Madness talk, so there it is. But I had Houston in my bracket following.
Oh, shoot. Did I give you a spoiler?
No. I had Houston bowing out way earlier than they did. But I haven't checked. My bracket was still alive entering the weekend.
Still alive? Well, you got Gonzaga. And I got Baylor. So we're both still alive.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's funny. It was interesting because I thought that Syracuse was going to go a little further. I mean, to be fair, Houston is a really good team. Anybody knows me, I bleed orange, and I've been very lucky with the show. We actually worked with them, so anybody that's tuning in on game will get to see it. But just to show my support,
Go Orange. Gotcha.
Yeah. I ran into a guy a couple of weeks ago. I went to the co-op, and there was a guy, and he was wearing a Duke sweater. What is that about? I'm like 2,500 kilometers away from the border, and I run into a Duke fan. Like, what is that?
Did he
Like,
have
seriously.
Did he have a black armband on the sleeve?
No.
You know that
If
guy?
it weren't illegal, he would have.
No. I'm just saying
I'm kidding.
they're in mourning in the Duke basketball program. That's all.
Oh, yes.
That's all right. You guys might be too young
All
to
right,
get
I've
that.
got a little bit of a visitor here. I'm actually at home, so this is Tilt, who wants to say hello. He seems to photobomb every single thing that I do that's not in the studio due to COVID. Bleh. Tilt, go lie down. There we go.
You wouldn't be the first person
famous.
You wouldn't be the first person to have their dog come on in the middle of the show. Okay, Cory, let's get to it. What are we talking about
Sounds
here?
good.
What are we talking
All
about
right,
with your new
well-
show?
Well, I think we should talk about you first.
I'd rather not.
We got to, yeah. Well, so Rod, we're going to be putting you in the hot seat. So you're going to be co-hosting a big episode with us. Unfortunately, I can't say which one or where. You know where, I know where, but we can't say where. But this is something that everybody's not going to want to miss.
And we also know with whom. It'll probably be the biggest thing that I've ever done in my entire career. But I'm going to use a farm term here, Cory. I'm going to use a rural term. You're putting the cart ahead of the horse. People don't even know what you do. So let's talk about that before we talk about what I'm going to do.
No, absolutely. So Go Nitro is running tonight, 6:30 on 6:30 SAS time, 8:30 p.m. on Game Plus. And basically what we do is our two hosts, we have arrangements with almost every league there is. So we've done episodes with CFL, we've done episodes with NFL players, we've done episodes with the NCAA. And basically what we do is we train with a different team in a different sport every single week. So I believe the one that's airing tonight is the one we did with NASCAR with Alex Tagliani. So Em, our host, and Carolyn Waldo are actually learning to race at the track with Alex Tagliani. And that's basically what we do every single episode. And I do some as well. On occasion, I draw a short straw and then I get stuck into it. So basically, we all have to pretty much die on national television, so to speak. We apprentice under a major athlete, and then we learn the sport each and every week.
Okay, so what's the closest to death you've actually come, Cory? Tell me, what's the wildest thing
You know
you've
what?
done?
The funny thing, the closest thing to death that I've come to is actually on this episode. When we were filming at the go-kart track, when we were doing our practice with Alex, a rafter that I was actually on with the camera collapsed. And it's a good thing that I was doing Dragon Boat because I was pretty limber. So I was able to kind of not get injured when the whole thing collapsed. There's an outtake where you actually see the camera and the whole thing collapsing. It's not in the episode, but we'll chop it out and put it on YouTube so people can see it. So everybody can see how much of a disaster it could have been. It could have been really bad. Like the whole rafter completely collapsed at the track. And it was probably about 8 or 9 feet high, and then it went right onto the track. And the whole thing just collapsed in the worst possible way. But I was okay. But we had a few near misses. Emily's had a few. When we were on the way to Syracuse, she actually ran over a beaver, and then she wanted to stop by accident, obviously. And then we ended up stopping in Watertown on the way, and we stopped at this little convenience store, and they were kind of laughing because there were like a couple of Canadians coming to shoot the Syracuse Orange, and the first thing that happens when you cross the border is you run into a beaver. Like, really? And then the other two things that happened, there have been some injuries. Emily used to be a goalie, so she's a pretty high-level goalie. So she used to train with Rick Hines, as well as you probably know Dan Tessier, the Ottawa 67s back in the day. He's a constable now. He's a good friend of both of ours. He's a top dog at the Ottawa Police Service. But Emily sustained an injury when she was doing the goalie episode because the pads are a lot different now from when she played. She was okay, and then we just shot a snowboarding episode just last week, Emily's okay. But she also did some snowboarding in the past. And when she did the snowboarding episode, she went through the entire episode without falling down not once. But then there was a big ice patch in the parking lot of the
he's breaking up.
Ski.
You got him? Okay. Oh, unfortunately, it broke up. So anyways, this is Go Nitro. It begins tonight, 8:30 Eastern here on Game Plus if you're watching it, and 6:30 SAS time. Okay, we got you, Cory. We got you back, so you broke up there. So I'm just going to summarize this. We're not going to go too far.
There we go. You got me back.
Yeah, we're not going to go too far more into this other than you've mentioned the NASCAR track, go-kart track, snowboarding, and there's a lot of other things going on. With the episode that I'm going to be involved in, can we mention the league? Do you want to go that far, or would you prefer not to? No, you go ahead.
You can mention the league.
The National Football League.
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go. Awkward silence. So that's cool. I just want to say this. We only have a minute here, Cory, but it's not easy to get your show, as you know, on national television. So I'm very excited you're joining us here on Game Plus. But what's the Cole's notes on how that happened? Because it sounds to me, again, people are backing up in their mind going, what is this? What's this deal? Skycron, Go Nitro. It's like Jackass meets Super Dave Osborne meets, right? Am I right? Like, how did you go about getting on Game Plus?
Well, actually, we were already running on Fox. So we have actually been running in the United States for a little over a year. So we've been actually running in syndication. So it's kind of ironic because it's a Saskatchewan show, but we've actually had it in the United States for quite some time. So we started running December of 2019 on a handful of CBS and ABC affiliates, and now we're running pretty much across the United States. So it actually happened that we were running in the U.S. first. So there's a pretty big list of stations. We actually are almost over 50% of the entire U.S. now, and I think that's what got us on Game Plus. And that's often what happened. And then we, of course, approached Game Plus and said, hey, what do you think of this? And they said, it's great. It sounds like just the sort of thing that we want to have on. And Bob's your uncle. It's probably the fastest broadcast deal in history that we've ever done. I think Chad pretty much got back to us in 24 hours. And I said, wow, that's got to be the fastest in every single deal that I've ever done. So, that's pretty much how it happened. But
tells me that you're doing something right and it's entertaining. So, Cory, we'll let you go. Again, tonight, 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 Mountain. Go Nitro.
That's great.
Okay, bud. Good luck with it, man. And thanks for getting in touch, and let's keep it rolling.
Sounds like a plan. Sorry about the audio going here.
You're all good, man.
Thanks,
You're all
Rod.
good. Give your dog a bone. Bob's your uncle. Everything's great. Cory Karlick from Go Nitro. Now I want to watch it. How about that?
Oh, yeah. No, it's going to be cool.
Guy's got some pizzazz and chutzpah.
Does he ever? And it's going to be neat. So it's fun building these relationships now. And, he's on this network, and then we're going to do some stuff with him. I'm looking forward to it.
That's tonight, 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 Mountain on Game Plus TV. Go Nitro. Dig it. Sports update before we roll. And then it'll be viewer takeover the rest of the way. 2 games on the schedule in the NHL's All-Canadian North Division tonight. Scotia North Division, that is. The Jets are in Calgary looking for revenge after dropping a 4-2 decision to the Flames on Saturday, and the Oilers will seek to solve the Leafs after Toronto blanked Edmonton on the weekend 4-0. Who's writing this? What was the overtime score? 4-3?
Yeah.
I think it took 4 points off. Who's writing this? From Canadian Press. Anyways, Jordan Wheel had a goal and 2 assists Sunday, leading the surging Laval Rocket to a 5-3 win over the Manitoba Moose in American Hockey League play. Raphael Harvey Pinard, Hayden Verbeek, Ryan Poling, and Joseph Blandisi also scored for the Laval Rocket, who remain atop the Canadian division. The 2 sides will meet again in Winnipeg on Tuesday. A 3-point night from Captain Jacob Hudson Sunday powered the Moncton Wildcats to a 5-3 victory over the Acadie Bathurst Titans. In Quebec Major Junior Hockey League action, Hudson had a goal and 2 assists in the win. Tristan DeJong, Thomas Darcy, Alexis Daniel, and Nathan Casey also scored for the Wildcats. Yannick Bastarache, Jacob Melanson, and Bennett MacArthur responded for the Tetons. Another quick turnaround for the Raptors. The team's in Detroit tonight, taking on the Pistons. Last night, Norman Powell and the Portland Trailblazers down the Raps 122-117. Can you check the Blue Jays score, Dupes? One last tune-up for the Blue Jays today. Toronto's final spring training game will see the Jays meet the Phillies in Clearwater, Florida. The MLB regular season kicks off Thursday with the Jays facing the Yankees in New York. Did you find it?
Top of 2, Philly leads 2-0.
Oh, of course they do. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. Viewer takeover the whole rest of the way. As soon as we come back, you're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina. Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network.
You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports? You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Go ahead. Go. Clark, go. This is Clark you're going to see. Yay! He got hung up at the coffee machine with dupes. It's on another floor here at RP Show World Headquarters. And here comes Moose. Why did you do the two-shot here? Here comes Moose. Anytime, we're on live television here. Don't worry. No big deal.
No big deal.
Just a roving party here. Are you good?
I'm great.
Okay. So I said it's going to be viewer takeover the rest of the way. Whatever you people want to talk about, it's entirely up to you. We got some NHL stuff going on. We got a few NFL things going on. And yes, to go nitro, we are dealing with an NFL team. We won't say which one, but it makes me very excited. How about that? So things continue to grow and explode. But from my guy, Leo, from the CFL Alumni Association, he's just sent me an email here. Actually, you got it too.
Yeah, I looked at it.
So, yeah, okay. We're going to spend a full 18 minutes right up to the top of the hour here to close the show on the CFL XFL merger. Why the hell not? That's where all my mail's coming from viewers, primarily in America, that want to talk about this. So Leo did a spreadsheet. He's a spreadsheet kind of guy. And I'll say again, he's the executive director of the CFL Alumni Association. The world needs spreadsheet kind of guys because I'm not, right? You need somebody that's going to put it down.
Yeah.
So overall, here are the records of teams in the 93, 94, 95 seasons in the Canadian Football League, the American teams, okay? Because I said the games were largely competitive. I watched them live. Sacramento, the first year, they were 6-12. They were the only American team in the CFL in 1993. How about that? The next year, they went to 9-8-1. Actually, this is super cool. Oh, Leo, nice work, by the way. As I read this, it's right in front of me. All-time U.S. teams versus Canadian teams were around 500.
Yep.
Here's by year. The Baltimore Stallions were 12-6 and 15-3. They pretty much ate up on the Canadian Football League. Saskatchewan Roughriders never beat the Baltimore Stallions. You know how I know that? I read the book on the Baltimore Stallions. It's a very good book.
Yeah.
Shreveport Pirates went 3-15 and 5-13. They were run by the Gleber guys. And Lonnie Gleberman's become a very good friend of mine, which would be no surprise to anybody that knows the two of us. The Las Vegas Posse were only around 1 year. Doesn't it seem like they were around longer?
Yeah, I know.
the amount that you hear about them?
I know.
They were 5-13.
Did not go well.
The San Antonio Texans were 12-6. The Birmingham Barracudas, which featured Matt Dunnigan as their quarterback and Roy Shivers as their general manager, they went 10-8. And the Memphis Mad Dogs with Damon Allen at quarterback went 9-9. And I think their coach's name was Pepper Rogers. Am I right on that, Leo? Uncle Leo! Who is the coach for the Memphis Mad Dogs? Because there's a Pepper Rogers currently playing in the NFL, right? Or maybe it was the old school.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of guys named Cookie Gilchrist. You know, there's a lot of guys that have the same nickname.
That's right.
So a lot of guys named Pepper in pro football. So when I look at these names, and of course, most of the crew around here were too young to remember that, but what did the U.S. expansion of the 90s, which everybody's crapping on, what was their legacy? Anthony Calvillo, Eddie Davis, Hall of Fame players. They're both in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, let alone their own respective halls of fame. It opened the door to all these new football players that would go on to have Hall of Fame careers. The interesting thing, I mentioned the Toronto Business Journal. I get an infinite amount of pleasure out of this and fascination that they would write two blogs on the XFL, CFL situation, one on how to fix the CFL and the other on how this whole talk is fake news. And they tag us, and we're the only ones they tag. So then I retweeted it, and it got Naylor all upset for what they said. But you know what it is? I have an opinion on merging. You saw Jim Lawson come on here on Friday and say, be open-minded about it, guys. Speaking to the CFL hardcores, I just want to see the league survive because it's going to die otherwise. But people haven't really got in my face, per se. Like, really rude about my stance. Because it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because they know that I love the league and I love the history of it, but I see the benefits for it. But you had a really good point in the break earlier on the people that are against this and why they're against this. I don't think you want to name names because you specifically named names. I'm not going to ask you to name them now. But anybody that's really against it. Over to you, Moose.
Because it's their thing, right? And they're romantic about their thing.
And their existence.
And their existence and the way they cover the league and, you know, this being theirs. And you'd rather keep it and be the, you know, the big fish in the small pond than have it be a big pond, right? And have the league grow and then be diluted with other people covering the league and then maybe be squeezed out. And, you know, you're really romantic about, like, what's going to happen if it changes. I won't have anything to talk about. I won't be that, you know, covering the league and my job might go away. And I respect all of those things that, you know, you got to look out for yourself. Like, I'd be worried about, you know, we want the league to come back because it's good for the show, right? It's good for us. We have a lot of people who love the league. But you have to think bigger than that. You have to trust that your skills can translate. You have to trust that, you know, what's good for the league will be good for you too, right? Bigger, better, more sustainable, more money, more fan interest. Everything grows. We can grow together, right? Everybody, you know, you want to be the biggest building by ripping down all the other buildings rather than building the other ones up. And I think that's, you know, it's and I tweeted about it, but it's too much pessimism, too much closed-mindedness, and you're never going to grow that way. You'll never grow.
Rapid-fire comments before we break and come back for even more here in overtime. William May, watching on Facebook, says, why be against it when the league is drowning? I hope that's a rhetorical question because there's a lot of people against this, if you've noticed. From Phil, he says, I like Vanstone's idea. That's the local columnist who wants an all-Canadian league with players per se, with just a few Americans. Drew Koser writes in and says, Billy Bean says it best, adapt or die. From Chris Bird in Toronto says, the reason for the Baltimore Stallions' success was that they stocked their roster with experienced CFL players and coaches. So what? That's like saying you only have the tallest building in town because you built more stories above everybody else. Yeah, they did it smart. Ryan McCarthy in Albany, New York says, don't forget Mike Pringle. He was part of it. David in Winnipeg says, Pepper coached the Mad Dogs. You're right, Rod. Chris Robinson watching in Southern Ontario says, and the rebirth of Montreal. Yeah, that kick-started the Alouettes after folding and being gone for a decade. Jim Perry in Calgary, you know, Jimmy Two Tables? Mm-hmm. He writes in and he says, Joe Horn played for the Mad Dogs as well. Well, I know for a fact Joe Horn was on the Stallions roster. If he spent some time in Memphis too, he was definitely part of the league. So anyways, we got people going on this. We'll continue. We'll just come back in overtime, okay? It's the RP Show. You are watching on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on you know, the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
We're going to overtime. And we do have some breaking news out of the Canadian Football League, and it's not good. Defensive end Adrian Tracy announced his retirement this morning. Another casualty of the waiting game and pay cut proposal. With the guys we're talking about, Adrian Tracy, to me, he's the guy that hit Drew Willie in a game at Investors Group Field, and Drew was never the same. Drew's a really good friend of mine. He was never the same. Drew should have probably never left Saskatchewan for greener pastures in free agency, but he chased the money. Careers are short. We should get Drew on again. Talk about Tampa Bay, where he's currently cooling his heels and being very successful in life after football. Viewer takeovers, as we say, it continues here. Jason May listening in southern Tennessee. Man, they love the football talk, eh?
Don't they?
Richard Allender. You're in Boston, right, Richard? He says, what Ambrosi and The Rock need to keep their focus is to release a product geared toward fans of football. The original American Football League worked because the product was built for fans, which then translated into NFL competition. I'm going to sit here and read viewer comments all day if we want. Justin Fendelet on YouTube brings up Wayne Crabette playing for the Baltimore Stallions in the CFL. You really should go back and read these books. Lincoln James on YouTube says, it's time to grow up and compete. No ratio. Have you seen all the Canadians in March Madness? I'm staying out of that. I think the idea will fly that the ratio for the Canadian teams, no ratio for the American teams. Darren, there's no other way around it than that, is there?
I don't know. I like to think that there is. I don't know what it is. I don't know American rules around that. And for a league that's in Canada and the U.S.
You can't. That's what it is.
Right.
It's illegal.
But I refuse to just leave that at that, right? If there's a way to at least keep that door open, and have those discussions, I don't know. Maybe it is something that's a dead end. But at least, it'll be top of mind, right? That look at if we can keep the ratio, great. If this is the alternative, maybe that works, right? I do think it's important to keep, what makes the Canadian game, but it's also good to do what's right for the long-term health of the league.
This is amazing. Mick Merkley watching. He says, Rod, I was an usher in the Stallions game, Pringle scored on the very first down for the Stallions. What a good player. Can you imagine? Oh. Hand the ball off. Zoop! 6 points.
We shouldn't have let them in the league.
I guarantee you somebody was thinking that.
I know. What did we do?
Brooke Andrusick says the Bombers lost $7 million, and that came after a year of a Grey Cup championship. Interested to see how our Riders did for 2020. Blue Bombers announcing that $7 million loss this morning. My guess is the Riders won't announce their loss for 2020 until June, probably. I'm not going to sit here on pins and needles waiting for that. I expect it will be far worse than the $7 million that the Blue Bombers announced today. Jason in Red Deer watching from the Puck and Pigskin podcast. He says, Rod, I understand why players can't sit around and wait for the CFL, but why retire rather than just go do something else while you wait? Is it a contractual or business thing? No, it's a life thing, Jason. You are, if I recall, a foreman for an engineering firm. It's getting on with your life. Adrian Tracy, you've talked to him, Darren. He's a business guy, right? He's got a family, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
These guys, it's life, man. You need to make a decision. You can only skip the dishes for so long or do personal training for so long, I think, before you really need to dig in and get serious about your life.
Yeah.
It's not, they've wasted 1.5 years, for God's sakes. 1.5 years. We can sit here and, again, use my brother's term of live in a world of rainbows, pixie dust, and uniform piss, or get real about it. We're 50 days away from the start of training camp. Do you think the Ambrosi, the Rock thing is like an actual bait and switch just to distract everybody from the... You don't?
No, they're having
Here's our face-off, everybody.
It's if Randy was saying this, but the Rock wasn't...
No, but what good does that do for this year? Bait and switch to distract people from this year.
I know. It doesn't do any good, but there's the proposal to the players that they want to still play. If they sign off on the pay cut, that we can still get a season done on time. So at least they're still talking about playing this year, and the owners are coming out and saying that, we think that there's going to be football. They've said it in Hamilton that there's going to be football at some point this year. So, I don't think it's a big distraction. I don't. But I think if they came out and said, hey, we've got a plan moving forward with the XFL to start in 2022, people would be okay about potentially not playing this year because you have a plan moving forward. But without a plan, it's tough.
When this happened a year ago, I said careers are going to end over this. And if I guess Jason's just asking a question. He wants the answer to that. The careers are ending because football needs to be full time in your life. If you're going to be a professional athlete, they've been doing other things for 1.5 years, okay? And there's no prospect that it's going to start on time this year. They need to get on with their life, and that's why I predicted that careers would end, and they're ending. Are we seeing why this is absolutely tragic? Are we finally starting to see how horrible this is for professional sport, and for that matter, amateur sport? 19 and 20-year-old hockey players, university athletes? Man, we could go another hour. We'll continue this tomorrow, noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain, right here on Game Plus. You screwed up, Clark.